Hi, good morning guys, and welcome back to the channel. The E36 compact was MOT'd yesterday. It failed on a couple of things. It needs a new set of wipers on the front, which I already knew about. They were on the list from the last episode. I just didn't get a chance to change them. And I burst the brake line as I was driving to the MOT garage, so I just need to do a new brake line on the back driver's side. I done the back passenger side in the previous episode. I just need to do the same now on this driver's side, and that'll be pretty much all the brake lines on the car completely changed. Also, as I drove back into my unit, the car is very low and my pre-supply fuel pump was slightly hanging down under the car, and I cut it as I came in and completely pulled all of that off. Just made a mess of diesel everywhere, and broke the new fuel pump that I fitted, and broke one of the lines as well. So I had to repair that to get the car back running again. Yeah, let me show you. Yeah, so this is the pump I pulled off. Well, this is actually my old pump. Lucky enough I had that, so I was able to put that back on to run the car. This is the pump, if you can see it, this is the pump I pulled off. If you see there, right there, that's meant to be obviously an outlet where the pipe goes on, and it's snapped completely off the pump. That's a brand new pump, only, what, a week and a half old? I think it was £58, and it's now absolutely useless, right pain. So there's like a T-piece here, like a return system. I completely snapped that in half as well. That broke off completely, so I managed to glue that back together. I need to order one because I can't trust it glued back together. It is holding at the moment, but I need to order one. And also then this line here, I just added a piece of rubber line because I completely twisted this metal line as well. So I'm going to need to flare this line on the end, because at the moment it's just basically cut straight off, so I need to bevel the end of this and sort out. But I just needed to get it back together just so I could get it back up and running again, because I need to run some diagnostics on it. Yeah, so I just put that fuel pump back on just so I could get the car back up and running, because I need to be able to run some live diagnostics on it this morning to see what the issue is with the actual engine itself, so I can get that sorted out. That's doing my head in. Other than that, the car is ready to go. I'll get the brake line sorted and get some wipers on it. But the main concern at the moment is getting the running issue sorted. There's no point having MOT on it if I can't drive it. So you can get rid of most of this list. Get rid of it all and just start again. Okay, so first thing is the MOT stuff, which is brake lines, wipers. So they're the easy fixes. And I've got the running issue, which is my main concern. Sort out the fuel lines, them ones I broke. And then I want to make a guard or cover for the fuel pump. So brake lines, wipers, easy fix. Running issue, don't know what it is, so I'll run some live diagnostics. Fuel lines, pain to have to do them, but easy enough to sort. And then I'll just fabricate a cover to go over the fuel pump. You can get covers, but I don't have any here, so I'll make some out of some sheet steel I have instead, I think. So yeah, so let's get on with this. So that's where I cut and pulled my fuel pump off. As you can see, just gouged into the ground. Okay, so it's this brake line, the one that runs along the trailing arm. It's just burst in the corner, so that's what I failed MOT on. So just renew the whole line. I have tried to undo this already, but it's starting to round. If it'll focus, yeah, it's starting to round. So I'll cut the pipe and just put a socket on it, and it'll come off. And the same on the other end. I done that side last week, so that one's alright. And this is pretty much the last one on the car. The rest have all been changed or braided lines from the hydro. So let's get this sorted first. So that's the pipe off. I just cut it at each end, and as I said, I'll tap a socket and I wanted the nuts to take them off. And I'll just basically copy this and just add a little bit on each end with two brake unions on, so this can go to scrap. Right, so I just need to make one roughly this length and get some brake unions on each end. That light is a bit of a pain. That's a bit better. Right. So, brake line. And 2 brake ends. Brake flare. This is the one we use. It's the most handiest one to use. It does steel lines on the car and everything. I've had this for years. And they're cheap, 30 quid, something like that. So that's one side flared, and I just cut this now to the same length as the other pipe and flare the other end. Right, so we just need to flare this end. Always remember to put your flare on first. The amount of times I forgot that, I still do it at least a couple of times a year, probably even more. Both ends done, so I'll shape this in now, fit it on the car. Right, so that hasn't fully gone to plan. So as you can see, it's fairly rounded. I couldn't get it off when it was in the bracket. I should be able to put a vice grips on one side now and take that out easy enough now that it's off the car. Well, off the actual backing plate on the disc anyway. Oh, there's the cow. Obviously if I was putting a new brake line onto the caliper, wouldn't need to do this, I could have just taken the line straight out of the caliper. I was trying to save this rubber hose as well because I don't have one here, and it's a Saturday, I won't be able to get one. So. Right, so that's the one side out. Took a little bit longer than I would have hoped. Hopefully that one in there, that one will come out a bit easier. Let's have a look. Hopefully this one will just come off with the socket. It's not too bad. Yeah, this one's that makes life a bit easier. Now it's time to fit this one. And new brake line on that side as well now. I made it a slight bit long. That's alright, doesn't matter. It's my own car, it doesn't need to be as tidy. And it'll pass MOT, so that's all that matters. I do have some new brake nipples as well. I didn't have them last time I bled the brakes. So I'll stick them in when I bleed the brakes now. Some new brake nipples fitted, the old ones were gone, brakes bled. So new nipples fitted, brakes bled. So stick the wipers on now anyway. Old rusty wipers off. Nice new clean ones on. So nice easy one off. Right, so next on the list, let's have a look at this running issue, I think. Yeah, so this running issue, that's what's doing my head in. That's what's really stopped me from driving this on the road. It will drive, it drives fine. It's just if you go over, I think 4,000 revs it seems, or if you really give it some power, it breaks up then and it runs lumpy for a few seconds, sometimes a minute or so until it clears. So I'm going to leak off test these injectors just to see if what the results are on all 6 of them again. Maybe compression test the engine just to have a look over it and run some live diagnostics on it as well and see if that brings anything up. See what I can see on there. But yeah, I need to get it sorted because that's what's holding me up at the moment. Right, so one of the things I want to look at is this crankcase breather. I originally swapped it over from like the older style one, the tissue roll one as they call it, to like the Vortex plastic style. But there's also a diaphragm in here as well, in this side of it. The filter type thing is in this side, and then there's an actual diaphragm in this side. So I'm going to swap it round and go back to the old housing and just swap the Vortex plastic one into the old housing and put that one on. Right, so this is the housing, and there's a diaphragm in this side. I don't know if you can see the orange part. Yeah, there's a diaphragm on this side, so maybe that could be giving me issues, I'm not sure. But I've stuck the other one in now, so swap the housing and put the Vortex type filter in. This is the older style filter, the tissue roll style one they call it. That was what was originally in this engine. As I said, I've got a Vortex one in it now. But I've swapped the housings around just to see if anything to do with this side is giving me any issues. So I'll run it up and have a look at it now, see if it's still doing the same issue. I'm just going to let it run for 5 minutes, warm it up, and I'll give it a few revs then, see if it does it. Fingers crossed if it's as simple as that. I'm not sure, but maybe. So still the same, as you can see, a cut out there, which it does quite a lot when it happens as well. So it's nothing to do with the crankcase breather. That's another thing ruled off the list. Gonna get it plugged in maybe and read live diagnostics. Maybe do a leak off test as well at the same time. See what results we get. Let's have a look at that now. Right, so I'm going to do a leak off test on these injectors. I have them all set up. This is just to catch any diesel from the actual leak off pipes, so just keep them in there, otherwise you'll make a mess. Make sure all 6 of them are facing into whatever container you have, otherwise diesel will go everywhere. So I just have these connected then to the top of each injector, and I think the tolerance from what I can see on an M57 is 20 mil within 2 minutes. So I'm going to have a look at that now. Okay, so that was 2 minutes. So this is what we got on level surface. You can see number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3 and 5 are pretty much spot on. And then 4 and 5 are a little bit different. Especially 5. I need to look in to see what the exact tolerances are. But maybe 4 and 5 might be bad, or maybe 5 maybe. Right, so I done all the fuel pump. I made a mount for the fuel pump. I just had a little bit of a leftover sill, and I just cut that into shape, and it slots in into the original body mount on the car. Goes around the pump, keeps it up nice and high, so I won't pull that off again and waste 58 quid. And I just use the original mounting point, drilled a hole in this plate, and bolted that 10mm bolt on. So that's another thing off the list. Yeah, so this running issue is still not sorted. It's getting quite late today now, and it's Saturday, so I want to go home. I'll have another look at it in the week. As I said, I'll look into them injector leak off test results and see if they are out of the ordinary or not. As I said, maybe number 5 has quite a bit more than the rest, so that may point to number 5, so it might be worth looking at that. I can't be bothered to do it now. You have to take the inlet manifold off. It's quite a quick job. It's all on there at the moment. I want to be able to move it out here and just drive it on Monday morning when I come back in for work. Sorry, Tuesday morning, because it's a bank holiday. Yeah, it's starting to get my nerves now because, as I said, I've pretty much changed everything on the engine. I've changed these injectors before already, unless I put in another 41 and it's doing exactly the same as the previous 41, but who knows. I've changed fuel pump, high pressure pump, pre-supply pump, pressure sensors, fuel rail, pretty much everything got to do with the fuel system has been changed. All the vacuum lines are good, all brand new. I have no air leaks. Pretty sure I have no boost leaks. The engine runs completely fine until it doesn't, and then it doesn't. So yeah, I really want to start driving this on the road and seeing what it's actually like. But as I said, until I can sort this issue out, there's no point in showing it or texting it or anything like that. Yeah, MOT stuff is done anyway, so Tuesday I can bring it back down for MOT and just get them to check the wipers and the other bits, the brake line and stuff like that. So all of that is done at least. So yeah, I am going to try keep doing a video a week if possible, even if I don't make too much progress on it. I'll just keep you updated with what I'm doing. I have a couple of other things that another project in the background, that green one, we should probably see in some future videos, but at the moment I want to get this one finished. So yeah, so once again, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. It really does help the channel grow. Also commenting on the videos, all of that as well. And once again, yeah, see you next time.